download and take them off. Some of the reasons I left those in was just for if you were using it in the future, you have a slide that says what it does. So now we get to the fun part, which is using SimNow. Going to go through a bunch of the different things that we allow that SimNow does. If you want to come over here and I'll play with the simulator. Okay. So SimNow, basically, we just in Windows or even in Linux here. This is running on Linux, right?
Yes.
This one's running on Linux. You just hit the icon and it brings up two windows. It brings up this window, and if I can find, and the other window. That's not the right one. Yeah, that's the window. Okay, so it brings up this other host window. You know what? Okay, so go ahead and go to the next instruction, or next one. So the first thing I should probably tell you is the terminology. BSD is a broadsword document. We named it a long time ago. Don't ask why. But anyways, it's a platform definition file that contains devices, device attributes, and connection pointers. So it just tells you what the platform's going to look like. And the shell is this is the outside framework that controls the simulation. The device is a shared memory, a shared library that interfaces with SimNow. Devices can receive simulation messages, connect to other devices, etc. The dynamic translation process, or dynamic translation, is the process of converting the sequence of guest instructions to host instructions. So it's how we take the application that's running and get it to run on the host. The host machine is the machine that the SimNow is physically running on, and the guest machine is whatever's running inside SimNow. Okay, go to the next page. Next one. So as you can see, that has the SimNow command window and the SimNow user interface, which we've got up and running over here. Go ahead, next slide. If we open a BSD, we've actually already got one installed here. You just go in and open a BSD. How come that doesn't allow you to open other BSDs?
I think it's running.
It's running.
Oh, I gotta stop running. That's right. Okay. So you can come in here and there normally is a lot of open. You don't have them all.
Well, there's one open, so don't close it because otherwise this disappears.
Yeah, we won't close it. But there's a list of a bunch of given BSDs that are available, and that's what's on the public site. The public site allows you to have like 4 or 5, but the NDA site has like 20 or 25 BSDs. And you can save your own BSDs as you see here and close them, open them. But if you save a BSD, it just saves it at a specific time after you've run it for a while. So then if you go in, next slide, you can, in the next slide, that's what it would normally look like opening a BSD. When you, go ahead, next slide. This is more, go ahead. Okay. So when you get to, anyways, I think controlling a BSD, we went through details in this. Okay, go to the next slide. So adding a device to the simulation, that's how you connect and hot plug, put devices. You can drag and drop devices from here onto here, and you can then configure the devices to have different information in them. And SimNow basically uses a device canvas to visually show that's what this is. And go to the next one. And the next. It's going to show this one. Okay. I didn't know these were all, they were on top of each other. Go ahead. So if we configure a device, you can go into any of the devices and it'll pick up what the device has here. And the different devices have different attributes that you can start adding to. If you go to the next slide, take for instance, and if you wanted a DVD to run, you could type in here and say, I want to use the DVD on on the laptop itself, you can type in the // colon.
Yeah, this is Linux, so I suspect.
Oh, it's not going to do the same
No.
thing.
You gotta say
it-
/dev CD-ROM or whatever.
But you can point to basically a drive. Okay, so you can tell it to use a real drive, or you can put in there and you can say use a particular file instead of a drive. You can tell it a file instead. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, and it's setting up a hard drive. Paolo's already got that set up here. But you go in here and you can set a hard drive, and you pick out the hard drive that you want, and you create a hard drive image, which we'll show you a little later. But you can actually there's a disk tool that allows you to create a hard drive image that you can then load into Sim now. And go to the next line. Memory. So if you go into the the devices and show the devices, it's already up. The memory chips look like here, the memory banks. If you go to the next slide, you can actually the one that he's looking at there is the one that has the BIOS in it. With this one here, you can actually then load the BIOS. And this is your regular. So if you said this is a an doubly CROM, and it needs to have this BIOS loaded into it, so that's your startup BIOS. You can load an actual BIOS that is used on real hardware, or any BIOS you create, prototype type thing, but you got to have it so that it'll actually so that it actually has the right BIOS to boot with. Okay. Go to the next slide. And the next one. So you get that's configuring the BIOS, configuring a DIMM. You can go into the DIMM bank, which is here. Performs a larger simulation, customize. These can all be customized. There's a bunch of standard DIMMs that you can use that are in Sim now. And if you go into DIMM 0, you can say import a different standard. And I'll assume they're in here someplace. You don't have the SPD data. You don't have the SPD folder there?
Don't know.